The scene opens on a flashback of utter chaos, with smoke and fire engulfing everything. Thousands of grotesque mutants writhe on the damp ground, but in the midst of this madness, a young man stands frozen, like a statue drenched in sweat. His voice rings out filled with anguish and despair. It's ruined. I have to hurry. Gotta add more sugar. This coffee is bitter as hell. A moment later, he calmly turns and walks back inside, as if the apocalypse outside were just a stroll in the park. He casually sits down and dives right back into a game with his degenerate friends. The whole squad is screaming and shouting, their laughter mixed with curses. One of them suddenly yells, mid-game, "Yo bosses, I just checked the news. Humanity's getting wiped out. Everyone's turning into mutants. Holy shit, what's happening? Crazy mutants. Whatever man, don't worry about it. It's probably just a phase." Suddenly, a snarl erupts right next to him. "What the hell? Why are you biting me? Help, stop biting me. I'm the marksman. Let me hit the tower. God damn it, screw these mutants. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Am I playing with a bunch of freaking elementary school kids? Can't you guys escape your parents' watch or something? So annoying." Amid the chaos, our protagonist remains perfectly calm. He sips his still brewing hot coffee and turns to his teammate with a smirk. "Hey, your girlfriend is right there with you, isn't she? Watch out, she might just bite you." The guy on the other end is instantly panting, his voice panicked. "Boss, how the hell did you know that? Are you a prophet or something? Wait, how could you possibly guess this? You're right, she's totally biting me right now." He looks down at his thigh, his eyes wide with terror. "Babe, why'd you stop? Keep going." But she had already turned into a mutant. Suddenly, she unfurls 3 terrifying tongues covered in sharp barbs. He turns pale with fright, his heart pounding. "What are you doing?" The monster immediately clamps down on his sensitive area. It latches on and won't let go. "Let go, you demon, let go." But even in excruciating pain, he never forgets his duty as a gamer. "Prophet, hurry up and push the tower. Don't worry, I'm on it. This game is in the bag." But behind those words was a desperate plea. "Hurry up and figure out a way to save my ass, you bastard." And so after a few minutes of intense struggle against the enemy team, he finally completed his sacred mission. "Nice, I didn't let the team down. We won. Victory is ours once again." Suddenly, a desperate, terrified cry for help comes from outside the door. "Lam Fam, it's me, your neighbor, Liu Vivi. Open the door." Lam Fam reluctantly drags himself to the door, looking completely bored. "What is it?" The girl is in a total panic, her eyes glistening with tears. "There's a bunch of crazy people outside. They're biting everyone they see. I dropped my keys while I was running away. Can I hide at your place for a bit? You'll help me, right?" she asks, her voice suddenly turning sweet and seductive. "Big brother." Lam Fam looks a little conflicted, leaning in to whisper in her ear, "I can help you, but you have to do one thing for me. Now, close your eyes." Vivi obediently listens, shutting her eyes tightly, confidently puffing out her chest to show off her seductive curves. Her lips are puckered, an open invitation. "Thank you, Lam Fam. You're so nice. I knew you'd help me. As long as you help me, I'll do anything you say." Then suddenly, instead of embracing the beautiful woman, Lam Fam coldly swings a knife. He gives her a few permanent tattoos on her pristine neck, then explains matter-of-factly, "There, I helped you. Now you won't turn into a man-eating mutant." Just then, a cold system notification chimes in. "Eliminated 1 potential mutant, plus 1 point." Without a second of hesitation, Lam Fam ignores Vivi's corpse. He slams the door shut. The reason for this cold, ruthless act comes from a brutal lesson learned from the future. "My name is Lam Fam. I'm not a prophet, just an ordinary interior designer. I live a quiet, introverted life. My life was completely normal until 1 hour ago when everything changed. Out of kindness, I took in my beautiful neighbor who was in trouble. Who would have known? She'd suddenly mutate and bite me to death. The moment I died, a system appeared. Apocalypse Mutant Survival System connection, successful. And then I was reborn." He checks the system panel and the information is displayed clearly. Name, Lam Fam. Strength 10, Physique 10, Speed 10. Points 1. He thinks to himself, a glint in his eyes. Plus 1 point. So this is how the system works. Killing mutants gets you points. With that thought, he calmly steps outside and sees Vivi's corpse being devoured by another mutant. He sizes it up like a juicy piece of prey, his eyes glittering with greed. Before the monster can even spot the living meal, Lam Fam swiftly swings a kitchen knife and lops its head clean off his face, still completely unfazed. "Hey, we're all neighbors here, no need to be so tense. I just wanted to confirm how to get points." At the same time, the system panel pops up again. Eliminated 1 mutant. Received plus 1 point. He looks down at the corpse on the ground, deep in thought. Considering how intact she still is, she's definitely going to attract a lot more of them. A mutant's coming, but we're neighbors after all. I can't just leave her all alone like that. Still, I've got to protect myself first. Same old plan, I'll hide behind the door and peek out now and then to keep her safe. And so a little while later, even the system was getting sick of this guy. Killing mutants grants points. He'd been grinding for hours on end, without a break, utterly exhausted, all for those survival points. But Vi, don't you worry. It's our noble tradition to help thy neighbor. Then he went back to his post. Suddenly he froze. Huh, where's Vi? Wait a sec. Don't tell me she's been taken care of. This is getting way out of control. He then whipped around to face the battlefield, staring at the dozens of mutant corpses piled high. He grimaced. A pile this big is gonna reek, and this hallway is a common area. As a resident here, it's my duty to clean this mess up. Decided, he scrambled to find a rope to tie them all together. Then he trotted off to find a post to tie them to, just in case the little rascals decided to wiggle free and run off. When suddenly, Lin Fan noticed something extremely bizarre in the dark hallway. Out of nowhere, the massive shadow of a person in a wheelchair was slowly rolling toward him. And worse, there were hundreds of twitching, lumpy eyes all over its back, a truly grotesque sight. His curiosity piqued. Lin Fan couldn't stop himself from running over to check the guy out. He was horrified by what he saw. Then, without missing a beat, he gave the old man a badass new haircut with his blade. He followed it up with a sincere question. Uncle Zhang, don't you live on the 2nd floor? How in the world did you get up to the 7th? Don't tell me you came all this way just to gift me your wheelchair. He then gleefully piled his mutant spoils of war onto the wheelchair and thoughtfully began pushing them away. With a huge grin, he thought, I was just wondering how I'd haul this crap to the dump without throwing my back out. Uncle Zhang, you're a real one. Don't worry, I'll bring it right back when I'm done. With that, he happily pushed his special delivery cart out into the dark courtyard and carefully left the wheelchair by room 203 for its owner. After laying to rest all the mutants in the dumpster, he couldn't help but ponder a few of life's great philosophical questions. Is this really the apocalypse? He was still having a hard time believing it, but if he wanted to keep breathing, he had to go scavenge for more supplies. But that brings up another question. Are these things considered wet trash or recyclables? Living alone sucks. There's no one around to help me with these hard-hitting questions. As he was zoned out thinking about this profound bullshit, a knock echoed from the floor above, and someone called his name. On pure instinct, Lin Fan snapped his head around and saw a bald dude with an all-too-familiar punchable face. It was him, Uncle Zhu's junkie son. One look at his scrawny, starved frame was all it took to see the classic look of a druggie who'd blown his family's fortune. Lin Fan suddenly remembered the time this guy beat him so badly he was left covered in mud, plastered to the pavement. He used to bully me, even stole my bike, and got caught. I called the cops. He gave the bike back, but the very next day, he ambushed me and beat the ever-living shit out of me. Back to the present. Lin Fan's voice was pure ice, his razor-sharp gaze fixed on the man. What do you want? The other guy just stared, his jaw hanging open in complete disbelief. Holy shit. This moron is actually talking. Isn't he afraid of attracting mutants? He then let out a sick laugh, a twisted grin full of malice. But an idiot like this is perfect. I'm about to starve here. I can use him as a pawn. He quickly scribbled a note on a pad and held it up, a clear command for Lin Fan to see. Go get food and water. Bring it to my door. The demand visibly pissed Lin Fan off. His attitude had done a complete 180 from the timid kid he used to bully with ease. Why should I? No. Hearing that sharp refusal from the brat, annoyed, he instinctively snapped at the man he'd always dismissed as a coward before forcing himself to calm down. Morons like this are so easy to trick, he thought. He wiped the board clean and wrote a new message for Lam Fam. Do as I say, and I'll protect you. When I get the chance, I'll get you out of this city. I know a secret safe zone. But Lin Fan stood his ground and shook his head, a defiant stare that made the bully's blood boil. I'm not doing it. That act of defiance made a vein pop on the guy's forehead. I can't believe this little shit is so damn stubborn. He has no idea what's good for him. Fine, don't blame me for being ruthless. With that thought, he flew into a rage, grabbing pots, pans, and plates from inside and chucking them straight at Lin Fan, screaming like a madman. Alright, you asked for it. If you want to die so bad, I'll be happy to help. The junk crashed and scattered across the ground with a deafening clatter, successfully luring in every mutant nearby. Hearing the racket, they immediately swarmed towards Lin Fan. It was a setup. A classic power play by the addict. He sees an opening and bursts out laughing, spewing venomous taunts. Weren't you so damn cocky a second ago? What's scared shitless now? Your legs turned to jelly, can't even run away. However, completely contrary to the addict's expectations, Lin Fan doesn't even bother to move. He stands his ground, casually toying with the mutants right in front of the guy. Killing a mutant earns 1 point from the survival point system, a simple way for a ruthless regressor MC to assert his dominance. That move leaves the addict totally dumbfounded, his jaw on the floor in utter shock. Holy shit, is this kid really that badass? His expression then shifts to manic excitement as he laughs like a psycho, screaming curses at Lin Fan. I'll admit you've got some balls. But so what? There's still another mutant. What's wrong? Can't react in time. Any fool who dares to defy me deserves to die. Die, die. His barking echoes, but all it gets is a cold smirk from Lin Fan. Then Lin Fan grabs a mutant that was still drowsily yawning. That's right. There's still one more. With a grin, he hoists it up and hurls it straight at the addict. A gift for you. The mutant slams into the addict's face in an instant. He has no time to react. All he can do is stand there and take it, muttering some useless words as if they could save him. You. What are you trying to do? On instinct, the addict catches the mutant, holding it princess style. Then he just watches helplessly as it tears him to 100 pieces. After enjoying the spectacular show, Lin Fan coolly leaves on his old beat-up bicycle, not forgetting to deliver one last parting shot. If you've got a problem, take it up with your new friend. You don't want to end up like me, with no one around to answer your questions. A little while later, at the Shikuo supermarket, Lin Fan is casually clearing out the remaining mutants inside. 1 mutant, 1 point. Afterwards, he calmly gathers his supplies and heads to the checkout counter, manned by the zombified owner. Boss, I'm taking all this. Ring me up. After settling things, Lin Fan heads back to his pathetic excuse for a vehicle. He thinks to himself that these supplies should last for a while, and besides, he also bought some seeds. Later, he'll find a suitable place to plant them, and he can gradually move towards being completely self-sufficient. He then glances down at the chipped knife in his hand, giving it a quick once-over. Still, I should probably find a few better weapons. Just a single kitchen knife is kinda lame. Suddenly, the familiar sound of a vehicle starting up roars to life, echoing clearly in Lin Fan's mind. Curious, he looks towards the source of the noise and wonders, where did that bus come from? At the same time, on that bus, a group of people are flooring it, desperately fleeing from the mutants, chasing relentlessly after them. The sound of the engine has already attracted 7 mutants. The bus's roar gets louder and louder as it hurtles straight towards Lin Fan, giving him no room to dodge. He can only stand frozen, rooted to the spot, because that sound throws him back to a hellish, unforgettable scene from his childhood with his wicked stepmother. She was always scheming, trying to get his father to kick him out of the house. That goddamn bitch is dead now. When are you finally going to get rid of this thing? Just looking at him pisses me off. And yet his father chose to abandon his own flesh and blood, blindly obeying every word that Shrew said. Soon, honey. I'm looking for someone to adopt him. That answer sent her into a rage, screaming at the top of her lungs. Soon. When is soon? Do you even care about this? They left Lin Fan huddled in the back seat, clutching a teddy bear and sobbing his heart out. He could only cry out for help in silence. Mommy, when are you coming back? Daddy and Auntie don't want me anymore. Please come, save Fan Fan. Fan Fan is so scared. Hearing the child's piercing cries, the woman turns around in fury and starts screaming at him. Her words were pure psychological abuse. What are you crying for? You little bastard, you're just looking for trouble again, aren't you? Do you want me to beat you to death? Then she furiously grabs the steering wheel from his father's hands. This is so annoying, stop the car. He immediately pulls over. I'll deal with this brat right now. Her actions caught the father completely off guard. Hey honey, don't touch the wheel, it's dangerous. But because of that one stupid move from her, a woman who thought with her mouth and never once used her brain, she yanked the wheel, sending them head-on into a truck. The horrific accident wiped out everyone in the front, leaving only him in the back to miraculously survive to this day. Back in the present, a guy on the bus looks down and offers a seemingly kind question. Hey idiot, want a ride? But a second later, he follows up with a vicious taunt. Then again, if I don't give you a lift, you can just wait there and let the mutants rip your guts out. He bursts out laughing, ignoring Lin Fan, who remains motionless, gripping his blood-stained chipped knife without a single reaction. Seeing this, his friend with the glasses leans forward anxiously and asks, Boss Huang, aren't we going to save him? You're really not going to let him on. He's going to get killed by the mutants we just baited. Then the kid started rambling, spouting his teacher's old lessons. Teacher said we have to help, but before he could finish his sentence, the guy named Huang shut him up by taking the dagger in his hand and slicing it straight across his throat. Teacher, what fucking teacher? It's the apocalypse. I do whatever the hell I want. You think a four-eyed bookworm like you gets to lecture me? He then angrily shoved the kid off the bus. He didn't care that they were once classmates. I've hated your guts for a long time. All you smartasses are just the teacher's dogs. Now that there's no teacher to protect you, doesn't that mean I can walk all over you? At this, Huang suddenly snorted, finding it hilarious. You're really that kind-hearted. In that case, I'll be merciful and send you down there to reunite with him. With that, he slammed on the gas and sped off, leaving his classmate dying on the pavement. But Huang still didn't forget to glance back at Lin Fan through the window. This idiot even brought a kitchen knife with him. Does he really plan to solo that entire horde of mutants? The thought made him burst out laughing, hopelessly stupid. Although all this had just happened a few minutes ago, our ruthless regressor Lin Fan was still stuck on the second thing that bastard Huang had just spat in his face. Die. I'm not going to die. Suddenly, memories of his deceased mother flooded his mind, a heart-wrenchingly warm and gentle image. She smiled radiantly, her gentle hand stroking his hair. Be good now. Wait until our Fan becomes a brave, bright, and kind adult. Mom will appear before you then. A sudden rage erupted within him like hellfire. He furiously raised the chipped knife to the sky. I made a promise to my mother. I will absolutely become that kind of person. Instantly, he hurled the knife with all his might towards the speeding bus. Unbelievably, with Lin Fan's innate talent, the chipped blade sank deep into the bus's tire right up to the hilt. This left the gang leader watching helplessly as the bus lost control and crashed head-on into a nearby signpost. The horrific crash flipped the bus over, pinning Huang flat on the ground with no way to escape. It hurts so much. Somebody help me, I don't want to die, he whimpered, begging desperately for his life. Lin Fan calmly pedaled his old bicycle closer. The pathetic Huang reached out a hand, pleading in despair. I was wrong. I was wrong. I really know I was wrong now. I'm sorry. Please save me. Completely contrary to his expectations of mercy, Lin Fan just looked down, his eyes filled with pity as he offered some heartfelt, albeit bitterly sarcastic, words of comfort. No, you don't know you were wrong. You just know you're about to die. You're just scared, that's all. At this, he gave a small, amused smile. Oh, that's right. Your friend is here to see you. I'll be going now. Wouldn't want to interrupt your little reunion. Those words made Huang scream in panic. What the hell are you talking about? At a time like this, what friend would be coming to find me? As Lin Fan's silhouette faded into the distance, Huang returned to his initial state of terror, continuing to beg hopelessly. Hey wait, come back, save me, don't go. But just then, the student with the glasses managed to crawl over. He leaned down low, breathing a cold, affectionate breath right into Huang's face. In an instant, Huang was swarmed by the entire horde of mutants, torn to 100 pieces. At the same time, after biking for a short distance, Lin Fan stopped to check his personal info on the survival point system interface. Strength, 35, superhuman. Stamina, 10 standard. Speed, 10 standard. Points, 0. Just then, a voice called out from an apartment building above him. Hey young man, please wait a moment. The woman couldn't believe that just a few days after the world fell apart, someone would still dare to stroll casually down the street. The intersection over there is swarming with mutants. How could he possibly get through? Then she thought of something more urgent, but that doesn't matter right now. Most importantly, when he heard her call, he instinctively looked up and asked, "Is something wrong?" His gaze then fell on the little girl standing next to the woman, and he thought to himself, there's a child too. She looks like she's starving. A moment later, invited by her, Lin Fan went straight upstairs without hesitation. The woman opened the door and immediately dropped to her knees, begging desperately. Young man, I know this might be too much to ask, but please, I'm begging you, can you spare some food? There's nothing left to eat in the house. My husband is dead. I really have no other choice. I don't need much, just a little something so my daughter can eat. Without any hesitation, he pulled some vegetables he'd just gathered from his backpack. Alright then, I'll sell you 2 pumpkins and a winter melon. His reply left the woman completely stunned. Huh. She was utterly confused by this man. Sell them to me. Even though I'm grateful he's willing to share, what good is money in the apocalypse? Whatever, sir. She wanted the supplies, so I gave them to her. But as I was handing them over, I glanced inside her apartment and immediately spotted a priceless item. I quickly stopped her. Wait a second. Seeing my interest, she didn't hesitate to take it down for me to see. Oh, it's something my husband bought a while ago. He was a huge gamer, so he got this replica. If you like it, I'll give it to you. It's so dangerous outside now, you could use a weapon for self-defense. Despite her words, her hand instinctively tightened its grip. Lin Fan immediately reached out, feigning humility. Oh, I couldn't possibly accept. His act made her force a smile despite her reluctance. It's okay. My daughter and I have no use for it anyway. Just take it. You need it more than we do. And with that, he cheerfully left, not forgetting to give her a false sense of security for scoring such a great deal. Well, thank you. I'll be going now. You and your daughter stay safe out there. Don't worry, I wouldn't take something from you without giving back. If anything happens, just call me. I'm always around. This bizarre exchange made the daughter whisper, Mom, isn't that guy a little weird? The mother replied speechless, "No, maybe it's not him who's weird, maybe it's us." Scene change. After leaving the building, he joyfully admired the sword, swinging it in his hand with raw excitement. This is a replica of the legendary Sorrow of the Mist. I saw it online before everything went to hell. I've wanted one for so long. Hacking up those mutants with this is going to be so damn satisfying. But suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air from behind him. It was followed by a woman in a nightgown, free-falling from a high floor. "You bitch, just die." She landed with a sickening thud right in front of him, her body covered in wounds. The horrific fall had shattered all her limbs. Lin Fan could only stare wide-eyed. From a balcony above, a fat man's voice boomed down, "You worthless cow. I spent all that time training her, and she still dared to fight back." He took a long drag from his cigarette, feigning regret. "Such a shame. Who knows when I'll find another high-quality piece like that again." Down below, Lin Fan stood motionless. He observed the woman's corpse with a cold calculation. She was covered in injuries. She must have been brutally tortured while alive. More than that, the despair, rage, and helplessness in her eyes were exactly the same as the look his mother gave his father when she left him. She died with an expression of pure agony, her mouth agape and eyes wide open in a truly horrific sight. Lin Fan couldn't stand it any longer. He looked up at the apartment she fell from. "This is really starting to piss me off. Why the hell would you do that?" His shout caught the man's attention, who peered down, shocked at Lin Fan's audacity. "Holy shit, there's still someone with the balls to be outside. Are there no mutants down there?" "All right then," the man shouted down, asserting his dominance. "Who the hell are you? You're not a resident of this building. This building is my territory. The women in here are mine to do with as I please. You think you can stop me?" Hearing that, Lin Fan's thoughts immediately went to the mother and daughter. He put away the sword and knelt beside the corpse. "I have to do something. Otherwise that mother and daughter in this building are in danger too." 5th floor. He then scooped her body into his arms, and counting the floors headed straight for where that disgusting bastard was. This bizarre act made the fat man laugh with contempt, thinking Lin Fan was even sicker than he was. What's this moron doing carrying a corpse, planning to take it home to desecrate it? Too bad. A corpse that can't struggle is even more boring than a lifeless doll. What a fucking creep. He then screamed down, threatening him, "Get the hell out of here before I get really pissed, or I'll deal with you myself." With that, he went back inside, stubbed out his cigarette, cracked open another beer, and started muttering to himself. "What rotten luck. It's the goddamn apocalypse and I still have to run into these kinds of morons." At that thought, he lost all interest. He was busy with the task of finding a new toy for himself. Whatever. I'll just find some new bitch in the building later to blow off some steam. The world had only been in chaos for a few days, but his attitude had already twisted completely, treating women like trash to be trampled on. Before all this, I'd only dare to look at these women, never touch. But now, it's the end of the world. I can do whatever the fuck I want. This feeling of total freedom, it's badass. As he was lost in his sick fantasies, a loud, heavy banging suddenly erupted from his door. Although he was a bit scared, he tried to maintain his self-proclaimed status as the master of the building. He grabbed a baseball bat and walked to the door, yelling, "Who's there? Is it a mutant?" He trembled, his shaking hand bringing his eye to the peephole. If mutants were roaming the halls, it wouldn't be easy to deal with. How am I supposed to find a new plaything to satisfy my urges then? But as he looked, he recoiled in pure terror. He recognized the figure outside the door. It was the woman he had just thrown to her death moments ago. She was staring straight through the peephole with wide, dead eyes, her pale, haggard face, that of a vengeful ghost, come back to settle the score. The horrifying sight sent him into a panic, and he fell backward onto the floor, stammering, "Holy shit, what the hell is that?" Turns out it was all a trick by Lin Fan. He had carried her all the way up to the 5th floor and knocked, saying, "I know you're in there." This detail made the fatso breathe a sigh of relief, as if a huge weight was lifted. He cursed under his breath. "Ah, that goddamn bastard. You scared the hell out of me, so it was just that idiot." Then regaining his composure, he shouted a threat. "Are you insane? You got a death wish or something?" It turns out there was a reason he was shouting so loud. "In a minute, the zombies will be drawn here and chew that moron outside to pieces, while I'll be perfectly safe hiding in here. I'm a goddamn genius." Just as the last word left his mouth, Lin Fan casually smashed through his apartment door. The powerful impact sent the door flying right into his head while he was gloating, knocking him out cold. Sprawled on the ground, he looked up at the man before him, his jaw dropping at Lin Fan's absolute badassery. Holy crap, that's a reinforced security door. Did he just bust it down with his bare hands? Is he even human? After clearing a path into the bald man's home, he glanced around and saw a whole collection of torture instruments laid out before him. Whips, handcuffs, chains, you name it. He couldn't help but think, did he use these things to torture her? Then Lin Fan calmly placed the woman's body on the floor, completely ignoring the man's frantic cursing. He screamed, "This is my house. Why did you bring that corpse here? Get the hell out. Don't you dare start shit in here." Lin Fan's face turned ice cold as he said something that sent a chill down the bald man's spine. "Of course I brought her here. To watch. To watch you pay the price." With that, he lunged forward and beat the man relentlessly until all he could do was whimper like a dog. "Let me go." But after just a few minutes, Lin Fan had already given him 2 black eyes and a swollen face. He even shoved a ball gag into the man's mouth. The bald man tried to scream through the gag in pure rage. "What the hell do you want?" Lin Fan walked calmly down the deserted street, dragging the man behind him with a dog leash. "Bringing a criminal here to receive his punishment. Isn't that a perfectly normal thing to do?" His actions enraged the man, who continued his helpless, dog-like whimpering as he was dragged along. Normal, my ass. "You psycho, let me go." Suddenly he changed the subject. "Have you ever seen a zombie movie? Ever read a zombie novel?" Hearing this, Lin Fan glanced down and gave a short reply. "I have." The bald man took this as his cue to ramble on. He spouted some twisted philosophy he'd picked up from movies, trying to justify the atrocities he'd committed. "If you've seen them, then you should know how to survive in the apocalypse, what you're supposed to do, right? Don't you think doing whatever the hell you want feels amazing?" But to his surprise, Lin Fan, pretending not to hear, yanked him up and delivered a vicious slap. "So annoying. Let me ask you something. Are you stupid? A novel is a novel, a movie is a movie. It's all fiction. You can't even tell the difference between fiction and reality." This wake-up call made the man struggle to explain himself. Who's the one who can't tell the difference? The apocalypse is here. The goddamn apocalypse is already here. Without another word, Lin Fan hurled him through the gates of a nearby police station, making him fall face first onto the ground, crying out in pain. It hurts like hell." Suddenly, the bald man had a thought. How is this kid so damn strong? First he breaks down a security door with his bare hands, and now he just flicks me away like nothing. He then started screaming in Lin Fan's face again. "You moron, what good is bringing me here? I already told you it's the goddamn apocalypse. Everyone here bailed a long time ago. Even if you drag me here, it's useless. No one can punish me now." Hearing this, Lin Fan let out a laugh, but it was a laugh of pure contempt. "No, you're wrong. There is someone." The bald man instinctively glanced over his shoulder, and holy shit, a horde of zombies in police uniforms had noticed him. They were charging at him frantically, every single one of them, looking absolutely ravenous. And so Lin Fan watched with satisfaction as this piece of filth was torn limb from limb. See, even as zombies, they still protect this place, punishing criminals who do evil. The next day, at the Huangxi Library, a meticulously customized vehicle armored from top to bottom to fight off zombies was parked. It stood imposingly in front of the large building as a man's urgent voice called out, "Get your weapons ready. Don't split up. If there are too many zombies inside, retreat immediately, and don't make too much noise." A man who stayed behind in the vehicle replied worriedly, "Lao Mao, wait for us to get back." The man nodded in agreement. "Don't worry, you guys stay safe." Just then, a short-haired woman with a killer body but a sharp, powerful aura spoke up. "Remember, we're here to find medical books. Don't get distracted by anything else." Hearing her, they all shouted in unison, "Roger that, boss." Then they moved in. At the door, one person opened it while the other held a weapon ready to strike. "Boss, looks like we got lucky. The library's clear of zombies." But suddenly she called out, "Hold on." Then she took her dagger and tapped a pillar, making a noise to check for a reaction. They waited tensely before replying, "All clear, boss." The other guy chuckled, teasing her, "Boss, you're being way too cautious." She then pushed the door wide open while giving a warning. "Cut the chatter and find the medical section. Now." But to their surprise, Lin Fan casually strolled out as if he owned the place, waving, "Hello. Hey everyone." His sudden appearance scared the piss out of them. Holy shit. A zombie that can talk? He looked a little hurt by that, but quickly composed himself and spoke calmly. "Hey, relax. I'm not a zombie. I'm a survivor, a living person." But the boss was still suspicious. She took a few steps back, sizing him up. "What are you doing here?" Lin Fan nonchalantly pointed to the book in his hand and answered, "Reading." "What else do you do in a library?" In his hand was a book titled A Comprehensive Guide to Reproductive Techniques. The guy in the cap leaned in and whispered to her, "Boss, he's got a point. That was kind of a dumb question." Annoyed at being called out, she snapped, "Shut up." Then she turned back to him, her expression shifting to an apologetic one. "We mean no harm. Sorry if we disturbed you." But Lin Fan just gave a casual wave, dismissing it. "It's fine, carry on. Just keep it down. This is a library after all." But when the guy with the buzz cut saw the weapon on his back, he was stunned. He whispered decisively that this guy had to be insane. "Boss, that sword he's carrying is a prop from an online game. I'd get it if he was just trying to look cool before all this, but now that it's the apocalypse, I seriously suspect he's not right in the head. The guy in the cap, however, was still unsure about him. You guys think this could be a trap? Despite the conflicting opinions, the boss decided to play it safe. Bottom line, we keep quiet and avoid any conflict with him. After hearing her orders, they respectfully replied, "Yes, boss." As they moved deeper inside, the boss couldn't help but glance back at Lin Fan. He was sitting perfectly straight, engrossed in his book. For some reason, she had a gut feeling that this guy was bad news. They should just grab the books and get the hell out of there before trouble started. After grabbing a few books, she signaled her crew to leave. But unexpectedly, Lin Fan's eyes shot up at them, and he yelled, "Wait!" That one word made everyone's face turn pale, their hearts pounding in their chests. Is he about to make a move on us? I knew he was trouble, but the boss kept her cool, her expression unreadable, as she calmly replied, "Can I help you?" To which Lin Fan stated as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. "You need to check out those books. Since you're taking so many, you'll need to register them properly." His words froze everyone on the spot, turning them to stone. Holy shit, buddy. Are you actually insane? Does he not realize what's going on right now? Check out books. Where did this guy escape from a mental hospital? The only one around Huang City is the Qingshan Asylum. Still, the boss managed to stay calm and asked politely, "Pardon me for asking, but do you have any idea what the situation is like outside?" She thought, completely bewildered. Even though my crew warned me, I didn't actually think he was crazy. But now, this guy is definitely not normal. Not normal at all. Hearing her question, he replied nonchalantly, "Of course I do. It's the apocalypse. There are man-eating zombies outside. Other than that minor detail, not much has changed." His answer left the boss stunned, her eyes wide. "Are you serious?" At this point, the guy in the cap couldn't hold it in any longer and yelled, "Wait a minute, dude. Do you have any clue what it's like out there? Did the apocalypse scare you, stupid?" He trailed off, letting out a helpless sigh. "Look, whatever. You do you. We got what we came for. Let's just mind our own business, okay?" Hearing this, he just smiled faintly and reassured them gently. "Don't be so tense. I mean you no harm. I just wanted to remind you, it really is dangerous outside right now. In this situation, you probably don't want any extra trouble. I get it." Then, unprompted, he started promoting himself. "Right. My name is Lin Fan. I live at Sunshine Community Building 2 Unit 2 Apartment 704. If you ever run into trouble, you can come find me. I'm incredibly strong. Even 180 zombies are no match for me." This outrageous boast left the whole group speechless, their faces twitching, and with that, they scrambled out of there like their lives depended on it. "Thanks. If we're ever in real danger, we'll come find you," she said, while frantically thinking, "It's official. This guy's a psycho. Run." Seeing them flee, Lin Fan sighed, shaking his head in disappointment. "Wow, they left in a hurry, huh? I never even got to ask for their names." Defeated, he sat back down in his old chair and let out a long sigh. "Whatever, I need to start planning ahead for what's coming. To be self-sufficient, I have to use my time to learn about cultivation." The scene shifts to a deep underground base, located in the middle of some vast desert, where a scientist's strange voice echoes. "This is really weird. According to our test results, the cellular activity in the mutant bodies is slowly increasing every single day." Hearing this, the person on the other end asked, "Are you saying the mutations are evolving?" You could say that. It turns out they were in the middle of studying the mutants. The man in glasses clasped his hands behind his back and probed further. "I just want to know if it's possible to develop a virus antibody," the professor stated with grim certainty. "Impossible. These viruses are bizarre. We've never seen anything like them before. Not even a similar strain exists." Then he frowned and shot back a question. "Are you familiar with the Jiangshi?" This question made the other man vaguely realize what he was implying. "Are you saying these mutants actually died and came back to life, surviving in a different form?" The scene then cuts back to Lin Fan. He was casually strolling down the street, thinking to himself that after a day of burying his head in books at the library, he'd basically mastered the fundamentals of cultivation. The open space in this apartment complex is pretty big. It's the perfect place to grow some crops. Alright, next up. He glanced around before shouting out an announcement to all the residents. "Hey, can anyone hear me? If you can answer me, I'm Lin Fan living in apartment 704, building 2 unit 2. I want to plant vegetables in the complex. Does anyone object?" Unexpectedly, not a single person answered. Instead, a horde of zombies came swarming towards him out of nowhere. At the same time, other zombies started raining down from the apartment buildings. But Lin Fan didn't even flinch, standing his ground, ready to throw down. And just like that, a series of system notifications popped up again. Kill a zombie, gain 1 point. Turns out this was all part of his plan. Now he wouldn't have to worry about a zombie ambush while he was farming. Then Lin Fan shouted one more time just to be absolutely sure. Is really nobody home today? Only then did he finally relax, a satisfied smile creeping onto his face. Looks like there really are no other survivors in this complex. That means I don't have to worry about anyone stealing my crops. As he was daydreaming about the future, reality hit him hard. His stomach growled, demanding food. An army marches on its stomach. Before I start working, I should find something to eat. Might as well check on that mother and daughter while I'm at it. With that thought, he immediately ran towards the girl's apartment building and sat there devouring his food. Taking a slurp of noodles, he said, "The fruits, vegetables, and meat at the supermarket have all gone bad. I could only get some noodles." "Don't be shy, eat up." His gesture made the girl blush as she thanked him shyly. Then she continued, still embarrassed. "I know that nothing comes for free. No one helps without a reason. You've already helped my daughter and me so much. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable, but my husband is dead. I'm worried that if something happens to me, my daughter will." But Lin Fan unexpectedly cut in. "Is there something you need my help with?" His words stunned her. She couldn't believe he'd agree to help her so easily. Flustered, she made her request. I want my daughter to go with you." After hearing her, he replied with some crazy off-the-wall shit that nobody could understand. "You want to move into my apartment complex, right?" "Yeah, I can help with that. The complex I live in is an old one, so the rent isn't expensive, only about 2,000 yuan a month. If you're serious, I can ask the real estate agent for you. I know the owner of the agency." This insane pivot immediately made the girl's face fall. Are we even on the same wavelength right now? Meanwhile, elsewhere, on top of a high-rise building, a group of middle-aged men gathered, the air thick with tension. Suddenly, Chen Gang's phone rang. Who the hell would be calling at a time like this? Wait a minute, could it be a rescue announcement? The rescue team. Finally, he scrambled to answer the phone. As tears of joy welled up in his eyes, the sound of laughter echoed from the other end. "Hey brother Chen, that house you're selling with Xinfeng Realty. I wanted to ask about it. Can I rent it?" The question sent him into a rage, and he started screaming into the phone. It was definitely Lin Fan. That damn lunatic, that psycho, who the hell has time for stupid jokes like this right now? He quickly hung up the phone. Is that guy blind or something? Can't he see what the world outside looks like now? Dejected, he slumped to the ground. Everything happened so suddenly. If our place wasn't a high-end complex with a strict security system that not just anyone can enter, we would have been dead a long time ago. For the past few days, everyone's been staying up here. On the rooftop, he scans the sky, desperate for any sign of rescue, a plane, a helicopter, anything. But after days of seeing nothing, not even a ghost, that goddamn phone starts ringing again. This sends him into a rage. "Are you insane?" On the other end, Lam Pham feigns a troubled voice. "Brother Tran, why are you yelling at me? I just want to rent a house." Realizing Tran Quang hung up on him again, he lets out a sigh. People are so short-tempered these days. Oh well, a few more calls should do the trick. But the second he redials, the curses fly again. "You bastard, what the hell do you want?" Lam Pham, however, is relentless. "Brother Tran, I just want to rent your place. No need to get so heated." Finally worn down by Lam Pham's sheer audacity, Tran Quang caves. "You want to rent? Fine, I'll let you rent. I'm on the rooftop of Building 3 at Fang Tap International. If you want the place, get your ass over here right now. Come and find me, if you've got the guts." Afterward, he cheerfully tells the two women. He agreed. "Wait here a moment, I'll go find him and rent the house for you two." This leaves the auntie completely baffled. Wait a minute. Meanwhile, back on the rooftop, someone approaches Tran Quang. "Brother Tran, what's up? Just some idiot." The guy claps a hand on his shoulder, leading him away familiarly. "Forget him, Brother Tran. Come with me for a second. Let's talk about something important." After slipping away to a deserted corner, the man whispers venomously, planting dark ideas in his ear. "Brother Tran, I did the math earlier. The supplies we've gathered will only last us half a month at best." Hearing this, Tran Quang starts to understand his true intentions. Tu glances over at the others, his voice cold. "Brother Tran, there are 15 of us in total, and 4 of them are old. I don't think we need to keep them around. We should just kill them." Hearing this, he replies with a hint of hesitation. "Killing them openly, I doubt the others will agree. After all, we haven't had food for days. We've only survived because those 2 old couples shared with us." Tu lets out a heavy sigh, trying to seize control. "Brother Tran, just leave it to me. I'll handle it. After we take care of these old geezers, we'll kill the remaining men. As for the women, we'll kill the ugly ones too." Their eyes then drift over to the group of girls. Tran Quang considers it a sick sense of pleasure rising within him. "Yeah, we'll only keep the pretty ones. After all, nobody knows when this apocalypse will end. Keeping them around for service could be some fun." At that exact moment, Lam Pham is having a blast playing chase with a horde of mutants. "Hey, you slowpokes, keep up. If you don't train every day, your bodies will give out. The system information panel appears. Name Lam Fam. Strength 40 superhuman. Stamina 20 quite strong. Speed 15 standard. Survival points 0. At the same time, everywhere Lam Fam passes, people watch from above with curious eyes. Someone wonders aloud, who the hell is that guy, daring to just cruise through the streets on a bicycle like that? Quick call out to him, let him know we're here, but another person stops him, their voice filled with worry. Are you crazy? You think he can get anywhere on that bike? After riding for a while, Lam Fam decides to stop. This was the Fong Tap International Complex. He can't help but be amazed by its massive scale. Now this is a seriously luxurious residential area. Then he glances behind him with a self-satisfied smirk. Looks like I lost those mutants. Still haven't caught up, huh? The scene shifts back to Tu, who is gathering everyone to go over the details. If everyone's on board, then here's what we'll do. Don't worry, just stick with me and Brother Tran. Even in this apocalypse, I guarantee I'll lead you all to a life of good food and drink. Meanwhile, the elderly are huddled in a corner, a heavy atmosphere hanging over them. This old man is Wang Zhongguo, a retired soldier. The woman beside him is Xu Guifeng, a retired military doctor. Guifeng, we're old now, and survival supplies are getting scarcer. He already understood their intentions. Those young people? They probably want to get rid of old burdens like us. So be it. Let's give them the chance to survive. This country, this society, it still needs the young to rebuild it. Alright, I'll listen to you. On the other side is Zhu Aijun, a retired military industry expert. Brother Wang, you truly are open-minded. Hearing this, Wang turns to him with a sympathetic voice. Old Brother Zhu, you feel the same way, don't you? I've dedicated my whole life to service. It's all I know. I don't want anything more than for these kids to live. That's what's most important. Just then, Aijun's wife walks over, tapping him lightly on the head. Liang Yan, a retired teacher. Seeing her makes him sad, and he says bitterly, my only regret is that you have to suffer along with me. I've suffered with you for decades. Do you think a little more hardship matters to me? You're right. You're right. Just then Tran Quang speaks up. Xiao man, good thing you were here. You convinced everyone in no time. Hearing this, the guy chuckled slyly, his voice full of flattery. What are you talking about? It was all thanks to Brother Chen's brilliant leadership. On the surface, he acted all high and mighty, like some kind of savior, but deep down, he was already plotting to take out the others after dealing with these old geezers. And finally, I'll deal with you, Chen Gang. Then all the supplies and the beautiful women here will be all mine. Just then, one of the men walked up to them and said loudly, we know what you're planning. Don't worry, we won't take your supplies. You don't have to throw us off the roof. Doing something like that, it'll mess with your heads. It's a kind of torture for you too. Us old folks will just go back to our own places and wait to die. Hearing this, that ugly girl vehemently disagreed, shouting, we can't let them go. Who knows, if they'll go downstairs, open the security door, and lead the mutants right to us. The crowd hearing this sided with her, their voices agitated. She's right, if we let these 4 old men go, who knows what they'll do. We have to throw them off the roof. Just as they were about to act, a sudden knock came from the door. Brother Chen, are you in there? When there was no answer, the person outside called again. Brother Chen, I'm the one who called you. Before about renting your apartment. Hearing this, Chen Gang snapped, who the hell are you? He thought to himself, rent an apartment? Are you kidding me? What era do you think this is? No one gives a damn where you stay. Unbelievably, this Lin Fan guy just went ahead and smashed through the door they had worked so hard to install, and then had the nerve to put on an innocent puppy dog face. Sorry, I didn't realize your door was so flimsy. Seeing this, Xu Xiao quickly came over and whispered to him with a calculating look, Brother Chen, just say yes, let him rent it. We'll watch him go downstairs. Once he's on the ground floor, we'll throw those 4 old geezers off to make a commotion. When the mutants come out, he'll have to run, and he'll end up luring them away for us. Won't that make this place even safer? Hearing this, Chen Gang let out a devious laugh and nodded eagerly. Damn right, you've got a sharp mind, and a vicious one too. Just then, Lin Fan spoke up again. Excuse me, which one of you is Chen Gang? Chen Gang stepped forward arrogantly. Alright, you can rent the place. You can go now. Lin Fan looked happy to hear that. Thanks, Brother Chen. Here, this is the salary I got not long ago. It's 5,000 yuan in total. It's a little short, but it's all I have for now. I'll transfer you the rest later. This left Chen Gang completely stunned, his eyes wide. Is this guy a freaking idiot, he thought. Lin Fan just replied, yeah. Then Chen Gang waved him away dismissively. Alright, we're done here. Stay as long as you want. Now get going. Lin Fan seemed relieved and turned to leave, not forgetting to say thanks, but the sight of one person made him stop in his tracks. Excuse me, sir, are you Mr. Zhou Aijun Young? Man, you know me. Lin Fan's eyes lit up as he eagerly grabbed the old man's hand. I've seen you on TV. Foreign countries tried to block our weapons technology, but you led the team that broke through countless technical barriers, giving us our own advanced weapons to be proud of. You're a hero." This made the old man burst out laughing. "You're too kind." "That's all in the past." Suddenly, Lin Fan's expression turned somber. "Are you gentlemen planning on leaving the rooftop? It's extremely dangerous out there." Aijun replied calmly, "We're not going back. Supplies are running low. We should leave the hope for the young ones. We're old and useless now. It's better not to waste resources." Hearing this, Lin Fan couldn't hide his displeasure. He shot a sharp glare at the group. Seeing this, they all instinctively recoiled, a chill running down their spines. "What's with that kid's eyes? It's giving me the creeps. This kid is definitely someone you don't mess with." Then Lin Fan's attitude did a complete 180. He smiled brightly at the old men and said, "All of you come with me, back to my place. It's pretty safe there, and I think I'm strong enough to protect you." However, they flatly refused. "Young man, thank you for your kindness, but please forget it. We'd only be a burden to you. Just knowing you feel this way is comfort enough for us." But he had no intention of giving up. His voice was firm. "Don't say that. I'm incredibly strong. Just come with me. You can stay at my apartment complex for now, and I'll find a broker to rent apartments for you all." This left everyone completely dumbfounded, their eyes wide. Rent apartments. This guy is really one of a kind. Lin Fan quickly grabbed their hands, urging them on. "Don't hesitate anymore. Just listen to me." He insisted on pulling them along. "Everyone with me." Suddenly, Chen Gang lunged forward, about to shout, "Hey, wait you!" But Xu Xiao quickly grabbed him, holding him back. "Brother Chen, just let them go. Don't worry, we'll stick to the plan." A smirk spread across his face as he said schemingly, "Isn't this even better? When they get downstairs, we'll lure the mutants over and take care of that punk and those old fools all at once." A spotlight flared to life, shining right on the moving group. Lin Fan froze, his heart pounding. The faces around him went sheet white with terror. Trung Quoc pulled Kui Fan close as everyone tilted their heads back to look up at the towering skyscrapers. But on the highest rooftop, the sight that greeted them made their blood run cold. A group of people were maniacally heaving massive planters, hurling them straight down with utterly inhuman expressions, as if human lives were just trash. At the same time, Xiao and Trun Kung burst out, cackling, their mocking voices echoing. "Everyone, be careful now. Don't kill them directly. Just smash things up real good down there, lure the mutants out, and let them get eaten alive." Trung Quoc, Kui Fan, and Lung Yen couldn't believe their eyes. Lung Yen shrieked, "Those goddamn bastards, they're trying to crush us." Her face was pale, her voice trembling with rage, at the sheer cruelty of those young people. At that moment, they simply thought the group above wanted to kill them, in the most brutal way possible. But Lin Fan's eyes suddenly darkened. "No. They're far worse than you think." His ice-cold gaze sent a shiver down everyone's spine. Trung Quoc quickly spoke up, needing to confirm the horrifying truth. "Young man, are you saying they don't just want to crush us, but want to make noise to lure the mutants, so the horde can tear us apart?" As he finished, the old woman beside him spat out in fury. "They're absolute animals." At the same time, the city sky suddenly grew unnaturally dark. Blood-soaked corpses littered the street. Mr. I Kwon, who had been silent until now, finally spoke, his voice filled with doubt. "Speaking of which, has anyone else noticed something?" He frowned, suspicious. "What's with all these mutant corpses on the ground? Did someone create some kind of weapon that can kill them?" Lung Yen immediately shot back, annoyed. "Oh, stop with your senior moments. How could anyone possibly create something like that so easily?" Suddenly Trung Quoc cut in, his voice trembling. "Wait a second, could it be? No way." All eyes instantly snapped towards Lin Fan. He just flashed a bright smile, looking completely innocent. "Why is everyone staring at me? I didn't have a choice. If I hadn't killed them, I wouldn't have been able to get to the rooftop safely." Hearing this, everyone stared at him in utter disbelief, their eyes wide and their jaws on the floor. "What? For real? We're not worried about that. We're worried about times you asterisk. You killed this many mutants all by yourself." Scene changes to the highest rooftop. Having thrown everything down to make noise and attract mutants, there wasn't a single one in sight. The group started to panic. "Brother Chen, we've thrown everything, but it's dead silent down there." The others looked down too, their faces draining of color. "Huh, holy shit, why is it nothing but mutant corpses down there?" But Brother Chen stubbornly refused to believe it. "What crap are you talking about? That's impossible." Jing Zhao shoved his way through the crowd. "Get out of the way, let me see." After a moment, he realized the truth, a curse escaping his lips. "No fucking way, it's real." Suddenly, with a cold expression, Xiao Lu violently shoved another man over the railing to attract mutants. The man flailed in panic, his body dangling in midair, seconds from falling. "Brother Chen," he screamed, his hands desperately gripping the ledge, his eyes wide with confusion. After Xiao shoved the man, Brother Chen couldn't believe what had just happened. "Little brother Xiao." "Xiao Yu," the guy replied calmly, his voice chilling. "What are you looking at me for?" The atmosphere instantly became tense. Stop throwing things, they're not attracting mutants anymore, and so they came up with another twisted idea. This is the only way left. We'll have to use the smell of fresh blood to draw them in from further away. Hearing this depraved plan, Brother Chen flashed a wicked grin. "Now that's what I call using your head. Nice one, Xiao." Another lackey chimed in with a suck-up smile. "Brother Xiao is a badass." A moment later, a heavy thud echoed from the ground. Splat! It was followed by horrified gasps from the onlookers below. A crimson pool of blood exploded upwards, splattering against the glass walls and pavement. The thick, coppery smell hit their nostrils, making everyone want to gag. Lured by the scent of blood, mutants began swarming in, like a rising tide. Seeing this, the group on the roof laughed victoriously. "Little brother Xiao, your method really works. Now let's see how these idiots try to run. I can't wait to hear their pathetic screams." Down below, everyone began to realize the danger, their hearts filled with dread. "What do we do now? The mutants are really coming." Seeing this, Lin Fan quickly asked, "Hey old man, do you have a car?" Confused, the man still answered, "Yeah, I do. It's in the garage." "But why are you asking that now? A car is perfect. My bike can't carry this many people." The second he finished speaking, Lin Fan bolted, shouting back over his shoulder, "You guys drive to the place I told you about. I've got to deal with first." The group stared after him, completely bewildered. "Wait," the old man urged. "Hey son, you're still young. While the zombies haven't broken through, you need to run. We'll hold them off for you." "He's right. You're young. Your life is worth more than ours. If anyone's gonna be a sacrifice, it should be us," they all thought. He was about to risk his life to save them, but they had no idea he was already prepared. The soldier's wife was the first to realize and spoke up. "What's the rush? Calm down. This young man isn't an idiot. He's definitely doing this for a reason." "Exactly. I can tell that kid is anything but ordinary. We should just trust him and stop causing trouble. That's the best way to help." Suddenly, Lin Fan's voice laced with sarcasm cut through the tension. "See, told you. These zombies don't get any exercise. This pathetic stamina of theirs is just not gonna cut it." In front of him was the horde, relentlessly slamming against the door. "I've been waiting for a while, and you're just now dragging yourselves over, pathetically slow." Chen Gang's face darkened. "Brother Xiao, something's not right. The zombies haven't broken down the door yet. That kid is running right towards them." He replied with a sneer. He must have been scared out of his mind. "The guy's gone completely insane." Chen Gang let out a cruel laugh. "What an ugly sight. Looks like you were right again, Brother Xiao. The kid's actually opening the door himself. He's got a death wish. That kid is starting to run." "Of course he is. No matter how dumb he is, he can't fight his own survival instincts." "Good point. You've always had sharp eyes, Brother Xiao." "Wait a minute, Brother Chen, something's wrong. The direction that kid is running. It looks like..." He stammered, his face a mask of horrified disbelief. They turned to each other and screamed in unison. Holy shit, they couldn't stop stuttering. What the fuck? He's leading the zombies right to us." No one ever expected him to act as bait, leading the horde right to Chen Gang and Xiao's position, unleashing absolute chaos. Swarms of zombies followed him, making the men freeze in terror. But the thing they feared even more than him was the massive army of roaring monsters hot on his heels. "You little shit. What the hell do you think you're doing? What's wrong? Didn't you guys want to lure the zombies over? I'm just being a good guy and bringing them to you. No need to thank me." The horde of zombies then poured in like a tidal wave, their screams of terror dying in their throats. Chen Gang, seeing the carnage, roared in fury. "Thank my ass." The scene shifts to a residential complex, painted a soft pink with a warm, almost nostalgic feel. A woman's gentle voice called out, "Hurry. Everyone go wash your hands and get ready to eat." It was Fei Fei's mom. She turned to him, her voice filled with excitement. "Brother Lin Fan, you have to try my cooking." Then she added gratefully, "It's all thanks to you that Fei Fei and I can finally live a peaceful life." Hearing this, the old folks chimed in cheerfully. "That's right, if it wasn't for little Fan, us 4 old-timers probably wouldn't have lived to see another day." At that moment, Fei Fei noticed him staring and asked. Her voice was innocent. "Uncle, why are you looking at me? Is there something on my face?" Then, filled with curiosity, Lin Fan asked, "Little Fei, where's your backpack?" The little girl gave him a blank look and replied, "Huh, a backpack? What backpack?" He then explained everything to her in great detail, even though no one asked him to, and even introduced the old woman as a teacher. "Even if it's the apocalypse, you're still young. You need a proper education. This is Mrs. Liang. She's a retired teacher who can tutor you. How about this? I'll find some time later to bring your backpack and books here, okay?" Fei's eyes immediately filled with tears as she looked at her mom. "Mommy, it's the end of the world. Do I still have to study?" Her mother stroked her head helplessly. "Be a good girl and listen to Uncle. He's right. Studying is the only thing you can do right now." The little girl's face crumpled. "No, I don't want to. I don't want to." "You're mean, Uncle, and you're mean too, Mommy." Everyone burst into laughter, and just like that, the Sunshine Community, where Lin Fan lived, welcomed 6 sincere new residents. A place that was once grim and heavy now felt a little more alive. Lin Fan then spoke softly. "You all eat first. I'm going to take out the trash, and I'll grab Fei's books and backpack while I'm at it." "Huh, Uncle, no way. If you do that, you're officially my enemy." As dusk settled and the sun sank, behind the mountains, a gentle darkness fell over the small house. Blue lights arranged in the yard added to the mysterious magical atmosphere. In the vast sky, a few stars twinkled like soft musical notes against the dark. At night, zombies began to wander around, hunting for a meal, but they were immediately taken down by a sniper's bullet right between the eyes. A young man in a black baseball cap yelled confidently, "All clear, 2 zombies, too easy." The young man thought to himself, in this small area, most of the wandering zombies on the streets have been eliminated, but the ones hiding inside the shops, they're going to be a real pain to clear out. Just then, the short-haired woman spoke. "For now, let's just ignore them." Then she changed the subject to their current food supply. "Right, I've finished dividing up the food. We can last for about 3 more days. Water isn't an issue for now either. The water plant hasn't been shut down yet." She frowned suspiciously. "It should have been shut down a long time ago. From what I can tell, there must be someone at the water plant." As she was talking, a massive explosion suddenly rocked the city, startling everyone. A column of fire and smoke shot into the sky, attracting hordes of mutants that began swarming towards it. Hearing the commotion, she asked with a worried voice, "What's going on?" The whole group, including the kid in the baseball cap, peered down below curiously. Seeing the scene, the leader screamed, her face pale as a ghost. "This is bad. That explosion just attracted every mutant in the area. What kind of asshole would cause such a huge disturbance?" To their surprise, they saw a girl. She looked about 18 or 20, and she was being frantically chased by a swarm of mutants. She let out a few desperate screams. "Help! Somebody please help me!" Suddenly, a giant arm appeared, brutally finishing her off in an instant. Then it let out a furious, deafening roar. As if asserting its dominance over the entire area, the sight drained all the color from the leader's face. "This is a mutation. A giant mutant. Don't tell me the freaks can evolve." At that moment, a trash can unexpectedly blocked their view. It even made a few rattling sounds, making her jump in fear. She thought to herself, could that noise mean there's another giant mutant? Then she looked closer at the trash can. Unbelievably, it was Lin Fan. The madman they'd met a few days ago was casually pulling a dumpster, looking completely unfazed. A ruthless regressor in this zombie apocalypse. Apologizing to the mutant in front of him, he said, "Sorry about that, bumped right into you." Suddenly, the horde of freaks leaped into the air. And then, a stat screen appeared before everyone. Name, Lin Fan. Strength, 80 maxed out. Stamina, 45, superhuman. Speed, 40 superhuman. Survival, point system 0. He then kindly asked them with a hint of mockery in his voice, "You guys out for a jog too? Well then, to make it up to you, let's go for a night run together. I'll lead the way." With that, he drew his sword. The enraged roar of the mutant echoed, as if tearing the night sky apart. Only then did the woman shocked finally calm down enough to realize, oh, so it was him. The others stared with wide eyes, unable to believe what they were seeing. Am I seeing things? What? I think I just saw that guy running while pulling a dumpster. Then someone exclaimed excitedly, "Sis, that guy baited the mutants away. I think we've been saved." Cut to the Buqiu supermarket. Lin Fan finally managed to drag the dumpster to the location, panting heavily. "Made it. I'll just leave the apartment's dumpster here for now. I need to go upstairs and grab my backpack and Fei's stuff. Then I'll find a place to dump this trash." At that moment, looking down from above, a group of 4 thuggish-looking muscular guys shouted down, "Hey, what do you think you're doing down there?" He noticed them, looked up, and asked, "Can I help you guys with something? My trash can is full, so I came here to find a place to dump it." And while I'm at it, before he could finish, they all cut him off. With mocking tones. "Holy shit, you guys hear this? This dude says he's here to take out the trash. Is this guy for real? In the middle of the apocalypse, he's doing his own thing. It's like you hit the nail on the head. You sure this guy isn't a complete idiot? Be more confident. He's definitely a complete idiot. However, Lin Fan just replied calmly, his voice even. Isn't taking out the trash a perfectly normal thing to do? Even though they were mocking him relentlessly, Lin Fan remained completely unfazed, determined to be the good guy till the end. Is there something you guys need? If you need help, you can just ask me. One of them couldn't hold back a snort and then shouted, "Are you a fucking idiot? We're living the good life up here, eating well, sleeping soundly, and you're asking if we need help. You've really got a screw loose." He then issued a threat, his voice aggressive. "Do you believe that if I scream just once, you'll be chased down by a horde of mutants?" But then Lin Fan suddenly waved goodbye, as if nothing had happened. He left the dumpster there and walked off saying, "Later." This left the entire group so pissed off they were speechless. What the fuck, man? What's with that attitude? I think he's looking down on us. And so they began to plot, revealing their twisted natures. Let's lure the mutants over. I've been dying to see what someone looks like when they're being chased by a horde of freaks. Sounds good to me. Besides, we're perfectly safe up here on the second floor, unless the mutants can fly. And then they started hooting and hollering, like a bunch of morons trying to draw the mutants over. However, after screaming themselves hoarse, the sky remained eerily quiet. This left them staring blankly at each other, wondering, "Holy shit, don't tell me there are no mutants around here." The other guy replied, "No way, there's no way the number of mutants is that low." He then looked around, completely bewildered. "So, where are all the mutants?" From below, Lin Fan looked up and answered casually, "Don't worry, they'll be here soon enough." Then he nonchalantly walked inside, as if he'd never left. And just as he finished speaking, one of the guys couldn't control himself. He roared, screaming right at Lin Fan, "That idiot, what the hell is he talking about?" The other guy heard him. He just froze, feigning ignorance. Then, a look of utter boredom revealed his true nature, seeing people as nothing more than toys. But what a fucking buzzkill. He couldn't even lure a mutant to kill that idiot. Just then, the ground began to shake violently. Rocks and pebbles started rolling down the slope. They looked at each other, voices trembling. "Hey, do you hear that?" The others reacted the same way. "Holy shit, it's real. What the hell is that sound?" Suddenly a monster appeared before them, roaring like a maniac. Its vicious, terrifying face made their hair stand on end. The house was utterly destroyed. Lin Fan stood there, a backpack on, and a longsword at his side. He let out a sarcastic remark. "Looks like those kids got along great with the zombies." A cry echoed from somewhere nearby. Slightly surprised, he turned towards the sound. He headed towards the Shanye bookstore. Sounds like a child crying. He climbed the stairs, his curiosity growing with every step. Could there be a kid in the store? He kept climbing until at the top of the stairs, he made a horrifying discovery, a woman's body hanging from above. It looked like a suicide. Her face was pale, mouth agape, hands dangling lifelessly. Slung around her neck was a cloth bundle carrying a baby. He observed his mind filled with doubt. The baby is clearly still alive, so why would she hang herself? Isn't that just abandoning her child? He hesitated, wondering whether to get closer and save the baby. What if it's a trap? Could he die here? Despite the risk, he still chose to save the child. He slowly approached, carefully untying the scarf from the dead woman's neck. Inside was a breathing baby. And something blue. He realized it looked like a diary. The baby's cries echoed. Seeing a person, it cried even louder, probably from being starved for so long. He held the baby, gently soothing it. All right, be good. Don't cry. I'll get you out of here." With no milk, he let the baby suck on his finger to quiet it down. Only then did Lin Fan notice the worn light blue diary tucked in with the child. The first page of the diary was clear. "No rescue, no food. I'm getting weaker and weaker. I know I don't have long. I've seen the others who died. They all turn into zombies. I don't want my child to be harmed, so while I still have the strength I need to take care of things." Writing this, she must have been filled with desperation and indecision, he thought. "Holding my child, my mind is a mess of worry and sorrow. I'm so scared of hurting her. I had to endure the pain of shattering my own teeth, then bind my mouth shut with bandages. That way, even if I turn into a zombie, I won't lose control and bite my own child. My daughter's name is Mung Mung. If anyone finds this place, I hope you can help her live. I know that in this apocalypse, a child is a burden. If you decide to kill her, I only hope you do it without pain. Don't just throw her outside. I don't want her to be eaten by zombies." Even without knowing if anyone would ever come, she wanted to take that gamble. A gamble that someone would come, and that they would be kind enough to save her child. A gamble that a mother's sacrifice for her child was worth it, and not in vain. Reading the diary, Lin Fan felt a deep respect for the woman before him. He bowed his head and said, "Rest in peace. I will make sure your daughter survives." Suddenly, a clicking, clattering sound. A basketball was rolling towards him. Surprised and on high alert, Lin Fan clutched the child tighter. He watched the basketball roll to his feet. ROAR. A monster with 9 blood-red eyes, bearing 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth, its hair a matted, disgusting mess. Its deadly claws lunged straight for Lin Fan and the baby. He dodged the attack in a flash. So fast. Its speed was greater than any zombie he had ever encountered before. The monster missed, but it quickly lunged for its new prey. Lin Fan drew the longsword from his back. A strange question surfaced in his mind. How is this baby still alive with such a powerful zombie here? A thought flashed through his mind. Wait a minute. Could this zombie be using the baby as bait to lure people in? Lost in thought, the evolved zombie charged forward again at a blinding speed. With a flash of light, Lin Fan, holding the now sleeping child in one arm, swung his sword in a single clean strike against the massive monster. It cleaved the creature in two. Blood sprayed everywhere, a truly horrific sight. Ping, the system notification rang out. Killed 1 evolved speed zombie. Received +3 points. The baby slept soundly in Lin Fan's arms, but his mind was reeling with shock and questions. What the hell is going on? The zombies I've met so far have never been this smart. On the floor, the corpse of the evolved speed zombie lay in a rapidly spreading pool of blood. Between the two halves of the corpse, Lin Fan had sliced open, a dazzling red stone glowed. Suddenly, he remembered something. The place he just entered is a bookstore. A bookstore? Oh, I get it, this is a bookstore. This zombie clearly hit the books. Turns out knowledge really is power, helps you get ahead. With that mystery solved, Lam Pham finally let out a sigh of relief. He walked around, searching through the old dusty bookshelves. Well, since I'm here anyway, I might as well grab some workbooks for Phi Phi. You can just tell she's the studious type. Phi Phi is gonna lose her mind when she sees these. He said, a confident look on his face. The scene shifts to a barren desert where a few lush green trees surprisingly grow. This is the underground desert base. A bald professor in a white coat with a long white beard. He wore a pair of glasses, his face a mask of shock and disbelief as he stared at the red stone the girl brought back. He was trembling, his hands shaking and forehead slick with sweat, his eyes wide with utter astonishment as he gasped. This came from the brain of a mutated zombie, that's right. This one was special, so we went to check its corpse and found this crystal inside its brain, the girl replied. The professor, lost in thought, said, give me the full report. Yes, sir. The first shot was fired at the scene to the south. The weapon used was a CSLR-35 sniper rifle, a single shot straight to the zombie's head. The image shows the Special Forces agent tense as he takes aim, but what happened next was shocking. Boom! A beam of light shot straight through. It was a direct hit, blowing the top of the giant zombie's skull clean off. But the zombie, not only did it survive, its combat ability was completely unaffected. It immediately charged the base. The Spec Ops team laid down continuous fire, riddling its head with bullets until it was completely obliterated. Only then did it finally fall. The zombie collapsed in a spray of blood. Up until we encountered this thing, every zombie we've ever faced, forget guns, even a simple iron rod to the head was enough to take one down. But this time, a direct headshot couldn't even kill it. It was truly unbelievable. The professor was engrossed in observing the strange red crystal while listening to the girl's detailed report. After she finished, he had a pretty good grasp of the situation. He turned to the girl and said, it seems the zombies are truly evolving, but why like this? Even blowing its head off can't kill it. It's like a demon. The only domestic bases we can still contact are the Dragon Palace base and the Milky Way base, but the zombies outside are constantly evolving. Can we really save this world? Professor, I actually have a kind of crazy idea. The professor was surprised by her words. Go on, tell me, the girl continued. In my spare time, I used to love reading novels. In a lot of those novels, zombies were described as having crystals in their brains. They were essential materials for evolution, she said, looking at the shimmering red crystal held in a test tube in her hand. Humans who killed zombies could obtain these crystals and absorb the energy inside, evolving to become superpowered. I wonder if this crystal is the same thing. The professor's face went blank. You could almost see the question marks popping up over his head, as if to say, are you for real? He blurted out, zombie novels. The scene changes. A woman peeks her head down from above. Is someone out there? The streets are swarming with terrifying zombies. How is he just strolling around out there? Suddenly, Lam Pham looked right up. It scared her half to death. She ducked down, covering her mouth. Oh no, he's looking this way. Did he spot me? This woman is the pop idol Su Zhao Xiao. As for Lam Pham, he was still puzzled. There are other survivors here. Just then, the roar of an engine caught his attention. A luxury car was parked right in front of the police station. It was followed by an impatient shout. "Hurry the hell up, these guys were members of the Huang City Triad." Seeing them, Lam Fan grinned. He thought to himself, "Even from this distance, I can smell the thick stench of blood on them." When the gang members saw Lam Fan, every single one of them was completely stunned. "Holy shit, with this many walkers around, there's still a living person on the street. Should we take him out?" But their leader advised against it. "Leave him for now. If you stir up the zombies around here, you'll botch the mission. The boss gave us a job to do." The others heard this and agreed. "He's right. If we don't find what the boss wants, he'll skin us alive." Just then, the driver glanced at Lam Fan wondering, why isn't this idiot running? Then a twisted thought crossed his mind. After my guys get the guns, I'm gonna tie him up, drag him behind the car, and let the zombies chase him down and tear him to shreds. But suddenly, Lam Fan cheerfully ran towards the car door, making the guy's face turn pale. "What the hell are you doing?" Lam Fan then asked with a smile. "Nothing much. Just came over to say hi. Mind if I ask what you guys are up to?" However, the driver remained on high alert. "Holy crap, you scared the hell out of me. Holy shit, am I seeing things? Wasn't he just over there a second ago? How did he appear right in front of me in the blink of an eye?" Seeing him, the rest of the crew chimed in. "Oh, this kid's still here. Hey, what's he doing?" The driver quickly changed the subject. "Alright, whatever. Did you guys find what the boss needed?" They tossed a red bag into the car and asked rhetorically, "Why else would I be here? With this stuff, our lives are going to be a hell of a lot easier." One of them, slightly interested in him, spoke up. "Kid, you've got some serious balls running around out here all by yourself. How the hell have you managed to stay alive until now?" Lam Fan replied with an unbelievably naive tone. "When I run into regular zombies, I try to have a little chat with them, advise them not to be so impulsive. If they don't listen, I have to defend myself and slice them up." His words left the young thug stunned, his eyes wide with confusion. "Is there something wrong with my hearing? What the hell is he talking about?" Suddenly, a cold black gun muzzle from another guy was pointed straight at Lam Fan. "Hey kid, you know what this is." However, Lam Fan stood perfectly still, not even flinching, his gaze strangely calm. "So the four of you went in there just to steal guns." Hearing this, the man barked back, annoyed. "Are you insane, Steele? In times like these, this is the apocalypse, dumbass. The apocalypse. Everyone we've killed begged for their lives before they died. Damn it, are you looking down on us?" But before he could finish, his gun arm was sliced clean off. "My bad. I've been fighting zombies for so long, I guess I forgot you were human." The guy next to him freaked out and pulled his gun. "You little bastard, you're really asking to die." In the next instant, he was sliced in half, blood spraying everywhere. The others froze in terror, their hearts pounding in their chests. This guy's attack speed is so insane I could barely even see it. Is he really even human? At the same time, inside the car, the driver yelled impatiently, "It's too loud, you're gonna draw all the zombies here, get in the car now." But they just stood there, stunned, their feet seemingly nailed to the ground. The driver couldn't take it anymore, and floored it. "Get in the car, what are you all standing around for? I'm not waiting for you, what? You better remember what happened today, you son of a bitch. When I report back to the boss, he'll make sure you won't get away with this." This sent the guys behind him scrambling after the car. "You bastard, we're not in yet. Get your ass back here." However, it was too late. The sound of the engine faded into the heavy air. Lam Fan sheathed his sword, a smirk playing on his lips. "Look, even the enthusiastic zombies couldn't hold back. They may not be very friendly, but they'll bravely step up to bite any criminals they see." This made the two remaining thugs' faces fall. Enthusiastic zombies. What the hell? Didn't you attract them yourself? When you spilled our blood everywhere. Suddenly, Lam Fan leaped onto a nearby roof. "Remember, this justice may be delayed, but it is never absent." Then he waved goodbye to the gangsters as his figure quietly vanished. And as the horde of mutants closed in, they realized their mistake far too late. "Pull out your guns, it's too late. No, I don't want to die here." The commotion over here caught the attention of Tu Tuyo on the other side. She wondered aloud, her voice trembling. "What's happening outside? Why is it so loud? There are so many zombies over there. Could it be because of that person who was wandering around earlier? What was he thinking? It's so dangerous out there, yet he dared to just walk around. He's probably been bitten and killed by now, right?" Suddenly, our hero's face appeared right in front of hers. She gasped in shock. "The second floor. This is the second floor. How? How is his face outside my window? How did he even do that?" Lam Fan looked at her, thinking to himself that the apocalypse must have scared this girl silly. "I'd like to help her, but she clearly can't handle it right now. I need to give her enough time to calm down." It's decided. From now on, I'll come to her window every day and give her one nice smile. I'll use kindness to win her over, to show her I mean no harm, so she won't have to be so scared. But the girl was terrified, her heart racing. I'm screwed, I'm so screwed. He found me, what do I do? If I run, I'll never escape. He'll definitely tell the other survivors. I absolutely can't let them catch me. She clutched a knife, her resolve hardening. Damn it. Even if I can't stab him, I can still stab myself. There's no way I'm letting him get his hands on this still warm body. Absolutely not. Hoang Son, Thuy Hao, Vien City. The driver's panicked shouts echoed as he ran inside. Boss, this is bad. Boss, we're in big trouble. This boss was known as the wealthy Fong Lan Vuong. He took a slow drag from his cigarette and asked calmly, what is it? What's the problem? Brother Hua knelt and began to recount what happened, his voice trembling. Boss, we went to the police station. We never expected to run into another group of survivors. They were hiding in the shadows, secretly watching our every move. The moment we found the guns and ammo at the police station, those bastards led a horde of zombies right to us. I told the guys to get in the car quick, but there were too many damn zombies completely blocking their path. In the end, I had no choice but to drive off and escape alone. He thought to himself, I absolutely cannot let the boss find out the enemy was just one person, and that I was so terrified by the zombies that I didn't even wait for them to get in before I floored it. Wang Dafu narrowed his eyes, staring at him without saying a word. It sent a chill down his spine, his legs trembling as he thought, shit, why isn't the boss saying anything? Is he planning to beat the hell out of me? I've seen the boss shatter dozens of bricks with his bare hands. A single slap from him could crush a damn boulder. Then the boss pressed the lit cigarette he was smoking directly onto the man's bald head and asked, then why didn't you just die there? He struggled to endure the pain, gritting his teeth. I have to hold it in. I absolutely cannot scream. If I piss off the boss, I might just kick the bucket right here. The subordinate started bullshitting, sweat pouring down his face like rain. Boss, I had to get the car back for you, right? As if granting him pardon, Wang Dafu roared, get the hell out. Yes, sir. Feeling like he'd been spared, he scrambled out of the room. Wang Dafu was lost in deep thought, his eyes ice cold. Interesting. I've been planning to clear out this entire villa complex and make it my main base to expand my territory. But I never thought there'd be another crew in Huang City, let alone one that also knew to raid the police station for weapons. Seems they're a force to be reckoned with. Capable. I can't afford to let my guard down. Cut to Sunshine Residential Area. At this moment, Grandma Shu Guifen was busy planting some seedlings. These seeds from Little Fan aren't going to be enough. I'll have to ask that boy to figure out a way to bring some more back later. Over here, Wang Zhongguo and Zhou Aijun were reinforcing the fence. Old Wang, make that side a little stronger. Got it. Elsewhere, Feifei and Mrs. Liang Yan were sitting together. Feifei's mother was right behind them. Feifei suddenly asked Mrs. Liang, can we learn English? Sweetie, English is useless now. We should be studying math, physics, and chemistry. That's real, practical knowledge. The little girl politely replied. Oh, okay. Suddenly, a massive stack of books materialized in front of her, causing Feifei's face to go pale with horror. Lin Fan appeared, asking excitedly, Feifei, aren't you happy? Try not to get too excited now. Uncle can tell you're a kid who loves to learn. I grabbed these for you on my way back last night. The little girl was utterly speechless. See how happy you are. You're even crying tears of joy. The poor girl looked like she was about to burst into tears any second. Lin Fan continued enthusiastically, I told you not to get too worked up. Sigh. This kid is just so passionate about studying. Ha. Suddenly the baby in his arms started wailing. He froze, completely flustered. Feifei's mother asked Lin Fan, what's the story with this baby? It's a long story. I remember Grandma Shu used to be a military doctor, so I was hoping she could check on the baby's condition for me. Grandma Shu spoke up immediately. Quick, bring her over and let me see. A moment later, they saw swollen rashes covering the infant's body. Grandma Shu was carefully applying medicine with a swab. It's a good thing you brought her when you did. If you'd been just a little later, I'm afraid this child wouldn't have made it. But we're not out of the woods yet. A newborn's immune system is incredibly weak. Her bottom is infected, and she has several other infections on her body. She needs meticulous care. Only then will she recover. Grandma Shu turned to him and asked, Hey, Little Fan, what's her name? Man. I don't know her last name. In her mother's diary, it just said her name was Man. Grandma Shu suggested, well, since you're the one who saved her, why don't you let her take your surname, Lin? He immediately refused. No, that's not necessary. Just call her Manman. Her life is a gift that her own mother fought and died for. When she's old enough to understand, I'll tell her everything, so she'll know that she once had an incredibly great mother. Just then, Feifei's mother proposed, Young man Lin, you're young, and have no experience with babies. And these folks are getting on in years. They can't handle being woken up all night. From now on, let me take care of her. After all, I've been raising Feifei, so I have plenty of experience. Lin Fan happily agreed. Yes, thank you, Sister Lee. How about this? You can help me watch her during the day, and I'll take care of her at night. Just then, a panicked voice shouted, Little Fan, quick, get over here. He turned surprised. Yeah, what's wrong? We've got big trouble. Mr. Joe explained breathlessly. It's bad. A massive horde of zombies just appeared on the streets. Hearing this, Lin Fan froze, a cold sweat breaking out on his forehead. What did you say? How is that possible? He thought to himself. When I came back, I know for a fact I left that horde far behind me. Logically speaking, there's no way they could have followed me back here. As a terrifying thought occurred to him, he started sweating bullets, his heart pounding with dread. Don't tell me. These zombies have actually evolved and gained intelligence.